Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yel Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yel Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yel Shai. All praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yel Shai, by Hashem Gagadash. Double honors to Apostle Great Millstone Ruel. And citation to elect to push the truth in all sincerity. The water Yahweh Hashem Yel Shai for allowing me to do another video. Today's video I want to talk about Esau is targeting Jake. Watch him target Gad. Okay? So, this is the title is, Esau, he's looking to come down hard, okay? All right? He's looking to come down hard and put pure hell on the Israelites, okay? All right? He's looking to put hell on the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, okay? So he needs to first set up his story, okay? He needs to first set it up, okay, so that he can be justified in doing the evil that he's going to do, okay? All right? Breaking into your homes, doing all manners of wickedness, okay? Doing whatever he such please, okay? All right? And you already see him targeting the blacks, okay? Now right here, watch him, and he's targeting GAD, okay? He's targeting the so-called Native Americans, okay? All right? This is the prophecies say, Jacob's trouble, okay? A great distress for the nation of Israel, okay? All right? We see that the devil, okay, Esau, okay, that he's literally singling out blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So this right here is him singling out Native Americans, okay? He wants the Israelites down. He wants the Israelites all messed up, okay? So let's watch. I got a couple clips. This is one of them, so let's watch.
Coronavirus infections and deaths are ripping through the Navajo Nation, located in 3 different states. With an already vulnerable population, coordinating care and information is not easy. As the NewsHour's Stephanie Sy reports, the community has taken on the challenge of caring for their own people.
In Navajo country, COVID-19 found its grip at a religious revival event in early March in the upper western reaches of the reservation.
We have clan families that come all over the Navajo Nation to participate in these events. And boy, it just took off like wildfire after that.
After the so-called super spreader event in Chilchanbito, President Jonathan Nez put increasingly strict orders for social distancing in place, including weekend curfews.
I haven't even personally myself been able to hug my grandma, stand at the door, drop off all the stuff on the porch, and I just wave at her. That's it.
At least 52 people who live on Navajo Nation have died from COVID-19, including one of 18-year-old welder Trevor Tachitney's relatives.
One person on the other side of my family has got it and has passed. I'm very concerned about it because I have family members that are young and are susceptible to it, and it's scaring my mother and my father every time we go out.
Getting the message out about social distancing on the reservation was initially difficult. Nez broadcasts daily updates on Facebook, but many households lack quality internet access. It's also not practical for many on the reservation to follow stay-at-home orders. Sprawling across 3 states with a population of more than 173,000, wide swaths of the Navajo Nation are energy, food, and healthcare deserts, and actual desert with limited water.
We tell people to wash their hands, but a study showed 30% of the homes on Navajo Nation don't have running water.
We're a vulnerable population.
1 in 5 Native Americans has diabetes, and there's a high prevalence of obesity, both underlying conditions that can make COVID-19 particularly dangerous. Even the younger people on Navajo Nation have worse health outcomes.
We are seeing some patients that are not.
So there you go, okay? They're talking about GAD, okay, saying that, his underlying conditions are messed up, saying that coronavirus is spreading a lot, all right, in those areas. So it's very obvious what they're going to do next. They're going to say, well, we need to help them out, and we need to, show our care, That's what we're going to say, even though Esau never, ever, ever cared about GAD, okay? All right, we know the history on that, okay? Them Esau coming over here and slaughtering GAD, okay? setting up treaties and breaking every single one of them, okay? And then pushing GAD to terrible spots, okay, in the reservations, okay, making treaties and still breaking them to this very day, okay? They still break agreements, okay? All right? Okay? When GAD is talking to ESAU about things that they're going to, different agreements, ESAU continues to break them still to this day. But ESAU's going to lie his ass off and say, well, we still have to help them, and because those are our brothers on some lie, But if you look at his track record, you can tell that ESAU is not about helping GAD, okay? So when he says he's going to want to help GAD because coronavirus it's really messing them up, it's obviously a pure lie, This guy's the devil, all right? And we see him targeting Israel again. Watch as he's specifically targeting Israelites, okay? All right? Because Israel needs to get judged, okay? Specifically, Black, Hispanics, Native Americans. Those are the Israelites, okay? Israelites that are of the speckled bird, The Israelites that are, don't look like typical Israelites, okay? If they're wicked, obviously they're going to get judged too, okay? But the bulk, obviously, is the Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, okay? And you see ESAU setting up his story, okay? You see that, all right? Okay? Talk about they have underlying conditions, just as they said about the blacks, okay? The so-called blacks, okay?
Over 60 that are coming in with severe COVID illness and they almost all have comorbid conditions.
Dr. Diana Hu has been working at the Tuba City Regional Healthcare Center for more than 30 years. The pediatric ward where she normally works has been turned into a respiratory clinic, as has much of the hospital since COVID-19 struck.
It was actually almost more like a tsunami when this first started in the middle of March, where we had 9 or 10 people getting sick in a day that had to be flown out for tertiary care. We get maybe 1 or 2 a day, and it's real obvious when they're sick, unfortunately.
Many Native American hospitals are not equipped for multiple severe ventilator cases. For now, patients are airlifted to facilities in Phoenix and Flagstaff. But Dr. Hu and her colleagues are bracing for an overwhelming surge.
If you know any nurses that want to come work up here, we'd love to have them.
This week, the University of California, San Francisco sent 14 nurses and 7 physicians to Navajo Nation to help. The most pressing shortage has been personnel. And this thing has not peaked on the Navajo Nation.
We're not sure. If you look at our statistics, which are per capita, it's outrageous. The biggest issue I think that we have with the federal government structure, the coordination is pitting tiny places like us against states, against other hospitals, and the coordination is being left up to the states, which is very difficult when you have something like the Navajo Nation.
Navajo Nation has one of the highest rates in the country of COVID-19 on a per capita basis, behind only New York and New Jersey. In Arizona, about 20% of deaths from COVID-19 have been Native Americans, when they make up only 5% of the state's population.
See, it's the same. See, ESAU's starting to do his same story, setting it up, just as he said about, the blacks, talking about how, like so much deaths, okay, it's due to the blacks dying, even though they're making up a small portion of these particular areas. So they're saying the same exact thing about GAD. It's the same exact story, okay? All right? So you can see specifically ESAU targeting Jake, okay, as I continue to say through the spirit, okay?
The CARES Act granted $8 billion to stabilize tribal communities, but the more than 500 sovereign tribes had collectively asked for closer to $20 billion. The Navajo have been the worst affected, but other tribes are facing the same threat. In New Mexico, multiple native Pueblo communities are seeing infection rates of coronavirus higher than big cities. And the Red Lake community in Minnesota declared medical martial law several weeks ago, containing their spread to 1 person. Back on Navajo lands, President Nez described the frustrating process of accessing federal funds.
It's taken too long. Here in the Indian country, it seems to me, we're always at the bottom of the list when it comes to federal resources.
The health disparities laid bare by COVID-19 have reverberated across the Navajo Nation since the time of European colonization. In 2009, the H1N1 flu was 4 times as deadly in Native peoples as it was in the general population. During the Spanish flu pandemic of 1918, a similar story.
We can't change history. We should just hopefully learn from it.
In recent
Yeah, and we should learn from history that basically ESAU, okay, that he's the devil, that he doesn't want to help out GAD, okay? All right, that he doesn't want to help out, okay? So why are we going to continue to rely on this devil, you know? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that's basically it on this video, okay? All right, so let's go to this one right here.
Tonight, we're going inside one community with some of the strictest closures and curfews in the entire country, and here's why. The Navajo Nation has one of the highest rates of infection in the U.S., and sadly, with few resources and little infrastructure, it's one of the least equipped to handle a health crisis like the one we're in right now. Our Matt Gutman reports on the unique challenges the Navajo and many indigenous people now face.
Dr. Sri Shamasunder has been practicing emergency medicine from the back of a car.
How's your breathing? That's good.
But there are limits to what this team can do.
So EMS has just showed up because the gentleman is telling the folks here at COPE and Dr. Sri that he's got shortness of breath, asthma, and they're trying to decide whether or not he needs to be hospitalized at this point. Everybody here is under investigation for COVID.
And COVID-19 is surging through the Navajo community, suffering one of the highest infection rates per capita in the country. The peak weeks away. Dr. Sriram is the co-founder of the HEAL initiative at the University of San Francisco.
I think with the Native population, it is similar to what we've seen vulnerable patients all over the country in terms of whether it's Black or Latinx population in the Bay Area. They are more susceptible, and in New Mexico, the Native Americans only make up 5% of the population, but they make up 20% of the COVID population.
He's teaming up with locals like the COPE program's Nitumagabo Champagne. They're doing rounds at this motel in Gallup, New Mexico.
So you see right here, basically, they're talking about, same thing. Now, ESAU, okay, you don't think that he's going to tell them, well, since you're around us, and if you're not taking care of it correctly yourself, then we're going to have to step in and really, manage everything. You don't think ESAU is going to say that for my own benefit? You don't think he would say that? He's going to be like, well, you guys, you're not doing it the right way, so we're going to have to step in so that we can be fine. Because if you're messed up, then you might spread it to us, and we don't want to be messed up, Because if we got under control and we're doing our thing and you were messing up, we don't want this, ESAU, man, he's just setting it up, okay? All right? Yeah, you see these guys, these news reporters, in the Navajo Nation, you see that, ESAU's gonna try and run up in there and do his thing, okay?
Where the unsheltered and the sick can go to get off the street and away from extended families.
So mostly the headaches bothering you? Yeah. Any blurry vision?
No. Eric Joe, who's a grandfather, talking with us through that broken mask.
Yes, I was worried about my family, but like I told you, I called. They're doing okay.
Okay. The virus has claimed dozens of Navajo elders and even some of its young. Former Miss Western Navajo, Valentine Blackhorse, was a mother of a 1-year-old daughter. She died this week after testing positive for COVID-19. She was 28 years old. Navajo President Jonathan Nez says his tribe has to rely primarily on itself. It's one reason he's instituted one of the strictest shelter-at-home orders in the country, and during the weekend, curfew.
Flatten that curve, lessen the virus here, and really stop the virus. And the creative way we're doing this is by putting a shelter-in-place order, and we're also putting the curfews, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. to 5 a.m., weekends, 57-hour curfew.
Historically, the U.S. government hasn't helped much, breaking dozens of promises with Native American tribes. And Congress has approved $8 billion for tribal assistance, but that money has to be split amongst 574 tribes.
Man, that's just plain right there. They just expose themselves saying that they've been breaking so many, so much agreements, okay? But someone's going to hear that and say, oh, wow. You know, it's not that big of a deal. You know, it just slap on the wrist in America. No, man. No, that's be wicked what they're doing, okay? That's wicked, all right? You know? You're still just lying and just, you know, not holding up their end of the bargain, you know, especially for them just coming in, slaughtering you, and then forcing you to be in a particular area, saying that, oh, okay, we'll co-live. And then you're not even holding up any bargain in anything you do. That's wicked.
Sometimes it goes through the federal agencies before it gets to the tribe, or it goes through the state before it gets to the tribe. We're using that same process, and we have to wait. And we have to submit for these fundings. But the need is now.
It's estimated that about 30% of the people who live on the Navajo reservation do not have access to running water, which is why they use pumps like this. And that makes the constant hand washing necessary during a COVID outbreak that much more difficult.
At that pump, we met with Elmer, who was there to get water.
During the time of COVID, you know, everybody's worried. You got to wash your hands, clean all the time. When you don't have running water, does it make it that much harder?
Yes, it does. And for little children to wash up daily, to have them clean daily is a problem.
See that? GAD's messed up, man. GAD's messed up. Look what ESAU did to GAD. You know, look what ESAU pushed GAD into these situations. You know what I'm saying? Look at him. He's all messed up. GAD was fine. You know, and ESAU came and just literally just destroyed everything, you know.
And they love to play outdoors.
Since early March, grassroots groups have worked to provide food and water. The Navajo and Hopi family COVID-19 relief effort raising over $1 million, setting up this makeshift hand washing station and distributing it around the reservation.
It's just one fix to address the hygiene issue. Don't wait until people are sick, because the conditions that are making people more sick and more at risk are right out on the street.
Navajo Nation is larger than West Virginia, but its population of about 300,000 has access to only about 20 ICU beds on the reservation. The Indian Health Service says they've had to build additional temporary hospital beds to prepare for a modeling prediction of over 200 additional patients a day and over 100 ICU-level patients across the area. In the vastness of the reservation under the shadow of Chimney Butte is where Michelle Tom grew up.
As you can see where I'm from, it's called Chejeni.
Okay, so that's basically that. That's it on that video now. Last one.
Navajo officials are scrambling to flatten the curve as the deadly coronavirus continues to spread through the nation's largest Native American reservation. As of Wednesday, officials at the Navajo Department of Health had 921 positive cases of COVID-19. 38 deaths have been confirmed across the reservation. The Navajo Nation spans more than 27,000 square miles with land in Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah. Its population is more than 150,000 people, giving it one of the highest coronavirus infection rates per capita in the United States. Well, the article, Checkpoints, Curfews, Airlifts, Viruses Rip Through Navajo Nation, was recently published in the New York Times. It looks at the ongoing efforts of the Navajo Nation to battle the coronavirus pandemic. Joining me now is Simon Romero. He's a New York Times national correspondent covering immigration, and he's also the author of that article. You know, Simon, when you look and you talk to infectious disease specialists, they believe COVID-19 arrived on the reservation far later than it actually appeared in other parts of the U.S. Why do you think it is that we're seeing such a surge in coronavirus cases within the Navajo Nation?
Well, unfortunately, the conditions in the Navajo Nation are really just perfect for the virus to spread. There are a variety of factors. One of them is water scarcity, so that makes it very difficult for families without running water just to do basic hygiene like washing their hands. And it also requires people to travel great distances in order to access clean water. Another factor is just how densely populated the Navajo Nation is on a home-by-home basis. And it's very different from a city like New York or Chicago, which has many people living in apartment buildings. In the Navajo Nation, you have several generations, often 3 or 4 generations, living under the same roof. So that makes it very difficult for people to isolate themselves, to do distancing in a situation like that. And you also have underlying conditions for many people on the reservation. Very high levels of diseases like diabetes make it just very difficult for health officials to address the problem and very easy for the virus to spread at this time.
You know, you mentioned the difficulties they're facing in trying to flatten the curve here, but do they feel like they can get ahead of this at this point? What do you feel are the major difficulties?
Well, they're certainly trying everything that they can do right now. You know, the Navajo Nation, they've instituted curfews, 57-hour-long curfews this past weekend.
Yeah, so that's basically it. But there you can see them saying the same thing, really. That basically that they are at a very big disadvantage to be able to fight the virus, okay? And that they, okay, don't have the necessary means to be able to, you know, to be able to successfully, you know, be in good standing, okay? And then them talking about how they have underlying conditions. It's all the same talk, all right? It's the same thing, okay? All right? So let's get some scriptures. This is Genesis 49:19. GAD, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last, okay? And who's that troop? Okay, who's that person that overcame GAD? Okay, that was Esau when he came, okay, and slaughtered the Native Americans, okay? All right? When they did that, okay, they absolutely just messed GAD up completely, okay? All right? And put GAD in such terrible conditions, okay? All right? And literally had GAD suffering, okay? All the way up to this day, okay? And Esau is going to go with his last hurrah, okay? His last mission, okay? In making GAD suffer, in making Israel suffer, okay? Jacob's trouble, okay? All right? But in the end, he shall overcome at the last, okay? So GAD, he's going to, in the end, okay, he's going to survive, okay? The 1/3, okay, is going to survive. The elect, all right, are going to be able to survive, okay? All right? And get out of this wicked society, okay? All right? The Gadites, the righteous Gadites, okay? They're of the 1/3, okay? They are going to prevail, okay? All right? But the wicked ones, the wicked Gadites, okay? The 2/3, okay? All right, they're gonna be destroyed, okay? All right, you know. So Esau, okay, he overcame the Israelites, all right, and he has his last hurrah of him coming down as a devil trying to destroy us, okay? Jacob's trouble, all right, and we see him targeting and setting up his story so that he can really come down hard on specifically Jake. Now, everyone's going to be judged, okay? All the nations, everyone has judgment, okay? But Israel has an ass whipping to receive, you know? Okay? This is Psalm 17:13. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, okay? So who's this? That's Esau. Esau, okay? He's the whipping stick, all right, of the Most High, okay? Okay? The Most High uses Esau to basically execute a lot of judgment on us, okay? You know? All right? There's a lot of judgment coming to Israel, okay? And who's going to be a player in that judgment, okay? Who's going to be a strong player? It's Esau, okay? Esau's a strong player in Jacob's trouble, you know, okay? He's going to come down, okay? He's going to force you to do this, to force you to do that, okay? He wants to put a chip in you, okay? He wants to vaccine you, okay? All right, if you don't get it, then you're going to starve, okay? He's destroying the economy, so now, you know, he's destroying the food supply too, you know? So there's going to be food shortages, okay? People are going to be all messed up, okay? Then there's going to be break-ins, all right? People are going to resort to cannibalism, okay? All right? Esau messing up the earth. You know, the animals are all out of whack. So, you know, the animals are going to just be going haywire, you know? It just, Esau, okay? Esau, he's going to try and throw you to concentration camps, okay? He could try and put you to death, just straight up, you know? Throw you in jail, okay? He's a strong player in Jacob's trouble, okay? All right? Okay? The Most High uses Esau, okay? He's the Most High's whipping stick, you know? Okay? And we see him targeting GAD. We see him shining the spotlight on GAD, okay? All right? Just as he's supposed to, just as the scriptures said he would, okay? All right? There's a judgment coming for Israel, okay? Jacob's trouble, okay? A time has never been seen before, okay? A specific ass whipping for Israel, okay? And we see that ass whipping getting prepared, okay? We see that, all right? This is Proverbs 1. And 21. And 20. Wisdom crieth out. She uttereth her voice in the streets. What is that? Us preaching the highways and the byways, okay? All right, we have the truth and we're preaching it, okay? Out on the streets, all right? That's that wisdom crying, okay? She cried from the chief place of concourse in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttered her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I'll pour out my spirit onto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called, and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But ye have set at counsel. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. When distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. And that's the case, okay? So the Most High, okay, he's stretching out his hand, okay? He wants to save, okay? All right, he wants to give salvation, okay? But 2/3 are not gonna take it, okay? 2/3 are gonna just be evil, reject knowledge, okay? So the Most High is gonna laugh at you when he brings down his whooping stick on you. He's gonna laugh at you when Esau comes down as a flood. Okay? He's gonna laugh at you, all right? When Esau forces you to get vaccines and get chips, okay? And he breaks into your house and do all manner of wickedness and do, martial law, whatever, throws you in concentration camps, okay? Torture you, The Most High's gonna be laughing at you, okay? And you Gadites, the wicked Gadites, okay? When you try and call on you can say Ahaya, or you think the name is Jesus or Ahaya, or the Most High is not gonna answer you, okay? The Most High is not gonna answer because you rejected knowledge. You 2/3, okay? All right. or you calling any god, you pagan god that you're into, you know, okay, worshiping whatever wickedness is under the sun, you know, the Most High is not going to hear you because you rejected the true knowledge that you're Israelite, all right, you know, because the Most High, okay, he's stretching out his hand right now to save the righteous, okay, he's stretching out his hand to save you, but the 2/3 are not going to take it. They want to continue to think the name's Ahia. They want to continue to think that Jesus Christ is right, that they're going to continue to think that sun worship is good, moon worship is good, worshiping the wind, whatever wickedness, whatever wickedness, okay? So the Most High's going to laugh at you, okay? All right, because right now, they're not taking the heed. They're not taking the heed, okay? And the Most High is stretching out his hand saying, Esau's coming down, or he's going to come down on you Israelites with wrath. He's going to come down on you Gadites with wrath, okay? He's going to come down on, obviously, all the tribes with wrath, okay? Okay? But you're not good. You 2/3 don't want to hear that, okay? They want to continue to be niggas, okay? All right? Okay, so they'll be destroyed for that. Okay, the Most High is going to laugh at them, okay? All right, all the hosts of heaven's going to laugh at them, all right? Everyone, the righteous are going to be laughing, okay, at the wicked being destroyed, okay? All right? You know? Okay, because the destruction's coming, okay? It's coming, all right? When the desolation's coming, all right? And if you don't convert to your true nationality, okay, and stop calling yourself Native American, okay, stop calling yourself Indian, stop calling yourself Navajo, okay, stop calling yourself all these different stuff, you know what I'm saying? Then there you go. Okay, if you don't stop doing that, the Most High, he's gonna judge you for that. Okay, there's a judgment for your decisions that you make. Okay, there's a judgment for what you believe in. Okay, all right. Okay, because hey, if you want to continue to stay in the dark, man, you could be swept up. Okay. Okay, because Esau, he's putting that crosshairs on you, Gad. Because what? Why? Because you're Israelite. Okay? That's Esau's goal, to get the Israelites. Okay? So if you don't wake up and see that, if you don't wake up to your nationality, if you don't wake up and stop thinking that the Most High is all these different things, or, calling all these different gods that are just wicked, false gods, if you don't stop doing that, you're going to be messed up. Okay? You'll be destroyed. Okay? All right? Okay, so we see Esau, setting up his story, okay? All right, to get Israel, all right? And we see him doing that right now, setting it up to get Gad, okay? So I hope this lesson was edifying and shalom.